Welcome to We'll Throw the After Party, and welcome to our anniversary show. Can you believe it? An anniversary where we didn't change the brand, like a consistent year of being a thing. Everyone is shocked, especially me. Tonight, we're going to revisit some of the most fun games that we've developed over the past year. We're going to talk about all of the things that have been coming up, some jokes that have been running through all of our shows. And of course, we're hanging out with all of you. And it's so lovely to see all the familiar faces with us tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being here. And shout out to all the replayers who've been with us, whether you've joined us recently or over the past year. It's lovely to have you here. And thanks for joining us for our special 1 year spectacular. Like I said, tonight's going to be full of throwbacks, including the jump scare, which I'm known for. So just be ready throughout the evening. You never know when and what I'm going to throw on air while we're going through tonight's show. But first and foremost, happy anniversary, my lovely co-hosts and friends. I know we're going to talk about what we've been enjoying this evening in just a moment, but can you believe we've been doing We'll Throw the After Party for a whole year?
No.
No, I can't believe we haven't had a surprise rebrand in the last 12 months.
Not for lack of trying or suggesting. But no, I love this brand. I think that we really achieved something here, like podcasting and live shows, like this kind of stuff. It's so easy to give up on it. And the year all of us have had with so many bumps and barriers in the road to doing this. And we still made it happen. And everyone that's here still showed up for us. So I think this community is the coolest on the internet, but maybe I'm biased. Maybe we should start with a little cheers.
Oh, sure.
Little cheers. Cheers to a year.
So it's in, of course, my Arconia glass.
Oh, look at that.
And I got some pink Moscato. That's from the leftover open bar at my best friend's wedding last weekend.
Love.
So
beautiful. Alexis, what are you? You have a nice glass as well. Is it a gold rim?
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a Culver highball from 1975.
Beautiful.
78.
Beautiful. I love how Alexis has this gorgeous glass. And then I went to HomeSense today and bought a set of really cheap, old-fashioned looking glasses. I should have just called Alexis and been like, can you just send whatever you're not using in a nice box to Canada? But no, $14 well spent.
If it makes you feel better, it is a very nice glass with a very cheap orange juice in it. So
okay,
I feel like it evens out somewhere in the middle, yeah.
It does make me feel better.
I have somewhere in the middle of that. I have both a pint and a quart jar that are, I guess, vintage to me because I took them from my parents' storage room in the basement because my family has a history of canning and now I use them for my drink glasses.
Glasses with many lives. I love that. That's so fun. I don't have a fun glass. I have my, drink I won't plug because they don't sponsor us. But I did buy a new emotional support water bottle.
There you go.
Girl, it was way overpriced, but it's the same color as my luggage. And I travel a lot. And I had a Hydro Flask. I love my Hydro Flask, but I wanted, something a little bit more aesthetic. So I invested and it's been quite fun. So take a shot every time Liz reaches for the emotional support water bottle and does not drink from it. It's a fun game we can now add to show lore. Let us know how you're celebrating in the comments. I know someone is having celebration waffles. Very Leslie Nope. I love. It's all about balance. When you think the after party, you think that's a balanced group of fine folks on the internet.
I do just want to say there's this, the desk beside me in my office at school has been populated by two different people, both who have been termed my office Liz because they remind me of Liz. And Gabby, who sits there currently, is notorious for getting her water bottle and picking it up and not drinking it, or getting her food and getting it out and then setting it down and never remembering that it's there. So I like that this is continuing to.
Oh, absolutely.
Gabby the one who got mad at you for telling me not to speak Spanish at you?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. But didn't know it was you.
Yeah. Thought I was the other partner.
Yes, thought I was the other partner and was offended that I would tell my Spanish-speaking partner not to speak Spanish to me.
Oh
when
my
I
God.
was telling Sly.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Speaking of Sly, Sly and I are wearing
Plug.
the OG Stark Radio merch, which is
Actually
so
not a plug
cool.
because you can't get it
You
anymore.
can't get it anymore. So sorry about that. Maybe I know we've been talking about redoing the merch line. I was looking into it today. I mean, the only problem is international fees and taxes. But if we can just figure out all the financial barriers to entrepreneurship, we can get merch back on the website.
Taxes.
So that's fun. But let's talk about what we've been enjoying this week, because trying to figure out international tax law was not enjoyable for me. But I had a big announcement this
Taking
week.
the hoodie off.
Did anybody know that I had a big announcement this week? I've only not shut up about it for like the past however long
Month
it's been.
and a half.
I just learned it for the first time the
on-
day you announced it. Whoa.
Okay, let's clarify this. This is old merch. This was from
Very
2021. This was from the original Stark Radio show. There was a limited time merch launch, and Sly bought all the cool pieces, including the Coney Island sweater, which I didn't even have a chance to order for myself. And I could still order one for myself as like a sample. It's ridiculous that I didn't, but Sly is truly one of the OGs. When I say Sly is an OG, Sly literally bought the original merch before Sly was a co-host on the show.
I did. I got
the merch.
I got 4 things. I got your sweater, the Peter Parker one. I got the Spooktacular. I got the Coney Island, and I got the Getaway Car Loki's version as a sticker.
As a sticker.
Yes.
Getaway Car Loki's version was such a slay back in the day.
It was such a slay.
That was Reputation era, met Loki on Disney Plus, met Pandemic. It was a slay. But yes, I had an announcement this week. Thank you for allowing me some space to plug. And so what I've been enjoying, I'm hosting the red carpet, and 2 weeks from today it'll all be over. So in less than 2 weeks for the Canadian Screen Awards. So I've been watching every piece of Canadian media that exists, trying to like get my brain all up to speed. I feel like I'm studying for the MCAT or something, like the amount of detail I'm going into to remember everything. But it's a lot of fun, and you can follow all of it on Instagram and TikTok when I start vlogging. And that's literally been my entire life, is just watching every single show. So I can tell you some of them really fast. Run the Burbs is a really good, like, family sitcom style show. Workin' Moms, which is one of the best shows ever. Sort of, which is one of the best stories of all time. Phenomenal show. The Porter, which has 19 nominations, like huge. Shoresy, classic, viral on TikTok. Letterkenny. The new show with Eugene Levy, the Remorseful Traveler, the Regretful Traveler. Yeah, like literally so many I can't remember. Anyway, that's been my whole week, is watching Canadian shows. If you're into some Canadian media, you let me know. Thank you. The Reluctant Traveler, the Remorseful Traveler. That's like season 2, maybe.
Regretful Traveler.
So that's been my week. Marissa, what have you been enjoying this week?
I had a straight up Hunger Games marathon. It took 2 days, but I had to get it done before the Hunger Games movies left Netflix, which they have already done. They were only there for like a month, not even. They left on March 30th, and I don't know where they went. But yeah, I watched all 4 Hunger Games, had a great time. Honestly forgot how good they were. And sort of understood why I don't watch them super often, because they're a bummer. But I've also been looping Aurora, still in the Daisy Jones and the Six era. Loving that album, truly. And I realized earlier today, like, I didn't even consider it as part of this week. I finished Book of Boba Fett and the rest of The Mandalorian. Actually not true, because I have not watched this week's episode. But, like, I'm caught up with at least the Mandalorian universe in Star Wars. Still haven't watched Andor. Probably won't watch the Bad Batch.
That's such a feat. You did it in such a short amount of time. Like a little round of tacos for Marissa doing a successful binge watch. Very proud of you.
If there's something I want to watch, I'm going to finish it before I do anything else. Like when I needed to watch Kenobi, I plowed through the prequels in like 2 days. So
it's true. There's nothing Marissa knows better than shoving Star Wars lore just directly into her skull. Like I think you've got like an IV drip of just like Star Wars canon that you sleep with or something.
I don't know. A lot of it goes in one ear and out the other, but right. I have a good time.
Speaking of Star Wars, I have a very fun fact for Sly. Are you ready for this? before I tell you what you've been enjoying this week. I met someone else this week whose favorite Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith. And I was like,
It's not.
what'd you say?
That's not my favorite.
No, but like it was an eerily similar conversation to everything you've ever said about Revenge of the Sith. So I was like losing it. I was like, there's no goddamn way there's at least two of you. It was the meme that's like, if I had a nickel, I'd have 2 nickels, but it's weird it happened twice. So what have you been enjoying this week?
Okay. I want to preface this by saying I don't know if I've necessarily been enjoying it, but I have been consuming. And I need to give a disclaimer. So we all know how I read fan fiction is I'll go through a tag or whatever and read a bunch, and then I find a writer who I really like and I'll read all of their stuff within that tag or whatever. And I realized recently that there's a lot of people I did that when I was only reading 911. I wasn't reading any other fandom. And so I was going back through my user subscriptions, and just making sure that everything I wanted to read from these people I had read. Why are you laughing at me?
Because it all just clicked in my brain based on the sparse text I've gotten from you this week, what you're about to say. So please continue.
Oh no. Okay. Well, there's one writer who writes predominantly 911 who I adore, and also based on their username is obviously predominantly in a different fandom. And so when I clicked on their account, I'll message you later, Alexis. They had a couple fanfics in that fandom, and it is an RPF fandom. And I try to avoid that because I know I have an unhealthy relationship with hyperfixations, and I used to, consume a lot about real people and RPF and all that kind of stuff, and it's just not a place I usually like to be. But I may or may not have read the couple fics from this one person whose writing I really like, and then been like, I like this shit, and just started reading a lot more, and then sending Alexis a lot of them, and then Alexis started reading them. So that's what I've been doing with my time. Also,
I would like you to read exactly what you wrote in the show doc for everybody. Everybody who watches this needs to be on the same page right now.
I wrote, Lisli, you don't choose your hyperfixations, they choose you. And the other thing I enjoyed was yesterday was a big romance writers thingamajig on the internet where there was thousands of free books on various book reading platforms that you could just download for free, and I downloaded 90 of them, most of which I probably won't like, and then I sent Alexis 15 that I thought she might like.
I love that your love language is just sending books and fics back and forth. And I don't think you read all of them, but it's just that I found this and thought you might like to read it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alexis, have you enjoyed being inundated with things to read from me this week?
Listen, I would also like to say I was laughing because this is the first time I learned how we got here.
Oh, even better.
There were some people in my life that are a little spicy about this whole situation because typically people will try to get me to watch something or do something or read something or be invested in something. And I'll be like, well, my brain just has to get there when it gets there. I can't decide to watch that right now. My brain is still doing whatever. You're just going to have to wait until the brain gets to the next stop. But then they started tallying for me the amount of times that Sly has been here's the thing, and I've just been cowabunga, let's go. So apparently there are 2 modes, and it is you just have to wait for my brain to get there unless you are Sly, and then I will jump in. Listen, this is not even RPF for me because I still am not entirely sure.
I don't know. most of the people. That's the brilliance of this. Like I was scrolling through TikTok, and on one of my accounts I have a very specific type of For You page right now. And one of the like person's names popped up, and I was like, jump scare. Like I forgot you were a real human.
That's what you look like. So anyway, yeah, those are the shoes that you're choosing to wear.
I do want to say, Alexis, I think that you've done something, because now everybody that is wanting you to read things
will just get me into it, and then I'll
force a new pipeline into your brain. So I'm really thrilled, Sly, for your new business endeavor. Enjoy.
I mean, I love that. Trying to figure it out, honestly, myself, because there was no hesitation. I don't know what my brain, like, there was like, so I was like, I'm reading this thing, and I was like, done. Like, and I wasn't going to talk about it because I thought it was going to be a secret. But then helpfully in the show doc for me, it was added getting bullied into reading RPF by their spouse. So
it's brilliant. So you already know, Alexis, you've been enjoying being on the curtails of that hyperfixation. There's a lot of love in the chat for your sweater.
Oh, thank you.
Love. It is super cute.
Big fan.
What else have you been enjoying this week?
Literally, that's it.
Beautiful. End of the segment. Anything that you want to add before we just go right into the next one?
I will say, if you know anything about a specific sport or fandom, you will be able to figure out what we're talking about from the thumbnail this week. Okay. Because I did include a reference to it in the thumbnail. But if you don't know anything about the sport or the fandom, you won't get it, and that's fine. That's how I want it to be.
I will say Sly did kind of Uno reverse me into a previous hyperfixation by saying like I need like they were like I need Rex for like this, and so I'm just like going through my bookmarks and remembered that like Roswell, New Mexico was a thing. And to be clear, I am not recommending this show. However, I am rewatching Roswell, New Mexico, and I forgot how good the first 3 episodes were. So
brilliant. And you also, just to add one more thing to your list, have been like we've had the same scenario, but with TikTok drama in the lesbian plant community. Alexis and I have been going back and forth all week about lesbian plant dad and this whole situation. So I would like to publicly say that I now prefer to get my news on TikTok drama via voice messages from Alexis and not from actually watching the source material. Like Alexis does a better news report than many national anchors that I've watched. Alexis could run a news entity just explaining deeply rooted conflicts on TikTok. So if you ever want to build that business with me, Alexis, you just raise the flag. It's honestly, you could just send the voice memos and I could package it up for you.
I feel like this is a surprise rebrand spinoff.
Spinoff show, yeah.
It's what JJ and I have been threatening to do to Mac for months.
Yes.
Is we're just gonna jump on like a call with Mac one day and chat about something and then turn it into a podcast, and they'll never know.
How would they know? All right, let's get into our rant segment featuring our nice new layout. Thanks, StreamYard, for adding custom layouts. I'm so thrilled. Marissa, what are you ranting about this evening?
I am ranting about the malady that has ruined my week.
Can't wait. Sly,
You're welcome.
What are you ranting about this evening?
All right, so I'm taking the rants and I'm giving it a little twist. So I'm going to go through my rant and I'm listing things that fit in a category. But I'm not going to tell you like the title of the rant, what the category is. And y'all have to figure it out. What is the link between these various entities?
Okay. I love a puzzle and a listicle. This might be new territory for us. What a way to celebrate 1 year. Alexis, what are you ranting about this evening?
Okay, so my rant has had a surprise rebrand because what was going to happen was that I had a chat bot write multiple essays about the couples that I ship, and I was going to like rank them. But then I thought it would be fun to have the the chatbot write an essay arguing for Goran Viznik's inclusion in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a sweater salesman. And there's a lot to unpack in this essay. So I think I'm just going to unpack that live.
I can't wait.
Incredible.
Spectacular work once again from Alexis. I'm going to be ranting about It's Our Birthday. I can cry if I want to. And I've planned nothing. So, Marissa, why don't you start?
No!
And then we'll go Marissa, Sly, Alexis, Liz, and move around the box since we don't have a nice row to follow anymore. Does that sound good to everyone?
I hate you, fine.
All right.
Wait, so I'm going
third.
last? Third. I'm going
Marissa,
third. Okay.
After Sly.
Marissa,
After Sly. Okay.
Sly. After Sly. All right. Ready to get some rants started? Probably not. Let's go, Marissa.
I have like a canker sore cut, something disgusting on the tip of my tongue, and it has ruined my week. Please don't pay attention to my mouth. It's gross. You can see it. I have not been able to eat any of the foods I wanted to eat. I've not been able to drink any of the drinks I've wanted to eat. It's not one of those situations where like, oh, you have a cut on the inside of your cheek or whatever, and you just eat on the other side of your mouth. No, it's in the middle. It's so annoying.
All right, so the first thing on my list is a fic titled Forever Severed, which is an MCD with the couple that is the current hyperfixation. Also, the fic Missing Him, which I affectionately refer to as the Malin fic TM of her grieving Eric's death. Oh man, I did not plan enough of these things in this listicle to fill out this rant. I'm just now realizing. We'll see how this goes.
Okay. So first things first, the chatbot got a little spicy and told me it wasn't allowed to have personal opinions, which I think was a miscommunication thing because I didn't want it to have an opinion. I wanted it to argue for my opinion because my opinion is correct. Then it introduces the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a franchise that has established itself, but it says one aspect that often gets overlooked in the MCU is the role of fashion and wardrobe.
Oh, I want to hear more on that because it sounds like Marissa wrote it. But we've been doing the show for a year. And as much as I threaten to rebrand and change it all the time, I'm very proud of the community and the show that we've built. One thing that we've wanted to do, and yet my emails go unanswered, is bringing people onto the show. So this is now going to be my public invite for as many people as possible to come join us on We'll Throw the After Party. And I'm going to start with Sebastian Stan, who was the original ask.
Oh my God. Where am I going from there? Oh, my life is so annoying. I truly couldn't talk for several days because it is the tip of my tongue. I could not enunciate. I could not make R's. I could not make T's. I could not make D's. It was horrible. We're doing better. Thank you. I'm healing, but I can't eat. I can only eat like soft, smooth foods like mashed potatoes and soup and applesauce. And I just want to eat cheese and bread. I just want bread. I would like a nice crusty piece of bread.
Cut off Marissa talking about bread. Next on my list is the fic If You're Watching This, which is a 911 fanfic that's season 4 episode 14 AU MCD, where like if Eddie doesn't make it. The other one is Text from Alexis, where she was being nice to me, is also on this list.
Okay, so then next questionable piece of this essay is talking about how Goran Viznik is a talented actor. That's great. But it says, has proven himself to be a versatile actor who can play a variety of roles from dramatic to comedic and everything in between. The only role I have ever seen this man play is foreigner with dead family. So I'm confused as to this like versatility that has apparently occurred, but like whatever. It then goes on to say,
Stan comes on the show. We'll do a segment where Alexis roasts him on how Bucky and Alpine are in the comics and asking him why he hasn't advocated for that within Marvel. I'd also recommend him not watching this episode based on the further segments we're going to do, including my PowerPoint, which has some Bucky Alpine content. The second person that should come on this show is Elizabeth Olsen because she deserves better, and we can give her that. We can be the emotional support interview show she needs in her life, and I believe that with my whole chest.
I co-sign all of that. Back to the bread. I really want to eat just a nice crusty piece of bread, preferably with some sliced heirloom tomatoes or some cheese. like some ricotta, or just want toast. And I can't have toast because breadcrumbs is like the most painful experience I could possibly imagine. But it's fine. We're getting there. This has ruined my week. I couldn't drink hot coffee for several days. Like, I'm a bad gay. I like hot coffee. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that. But I've had a terrible experience.
You're so real for that. Speaking of Sebastian Stan, also on this list is the hit Sebastian Stan film I'm Not Here, which I talk a lot about jokingly, but I did watch pre-Menti B every time I was like in active ideation. However, disclaimer, I did watch it without subtitles without like captions on this time, so that might have skewed the results of me watching this film.
It then does say that Goran has a passion for fashion, which I think was necessary wordage for this essay, but points out that he has worn stylish sweaters on the red carpet. I don't think that's actually a thing. I don't think he has worn them on the red carpet, but that's fine. Then we get to the transition. This is why he should be a sweater salesman, but it says, Marvel has always been known for its attention to detail. Blatant lie. In recent films, characters like Tony Stark and T'Challa
to cut that off because I want to hear it. The next person that needs to come on the show is Alaqua Cox before Echo premieres. Specifically because I didn't. Yeah, unmute absolutely unmute Sly because I'm saying this. This is your
yes, please. I will so interview Alaqua Cox any day, anytime. I will be there 100%.
As part of the Echo press tour. Like we need it. We actually demand that one. So Marvel, answer my calls. Marissa?
I don't have much else to say other than I am like deeply annoyed. And when trying to think of something to rant about this week, I could not come up with anything else because nothing pissed me off as much as not being able to talk or eat or drink. But it's fine. I'm on the road to healing. I'm feeling a lot better. I can speak. And I can drink coffee, sort of. I don't know. I'm upset.
I realized I did skip over one vital bullet point on this list, which was my playlist Seeking Increase of Wretchedness in Every Reflection, which description reads, or crying in the shower, but make it Jane Austen. And if you're like, why did you read 3 major character death fics today and watch a movie that usually makes you emotional, and Alexis was being nice to you? And the answer was things that should have made me cry today and didn't. You would be correct.
Then it says Tony Stark and T'Challa have become fashion icons. I think that's a lie. It will conclude by saying that this Gordon Vishnick as a sweater salesman seems like an unconventional choice, and that goes along with Marvel's like risk taking. But I do want to read you this bit. Imagine a scene where a superhero walks into a sweater store and is greeted by Goran Vishnick's character. The two engage in witty banter as Goran.
Continue. Hold on. Continue, please. Finish the thought.
Goran shows off his latest collection of sweaters. The superhero eventually finds the perfect sweater to match their costume.
That's it.
And the scene ends with a humorous exchange between the two. This kind of scene would not only add some much needed levity to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but also give Goran a chance to showcase his fashion skills.
A round of tacos in the chat, please. Please, a round of tacos in the chat for... Listen, I'm adding that officially to my pitch of what we need. We need Goran Vishnick on our show, and we need to pitch him this script. And my final pitch is that the cast of the Marvels, Iman Vellani, Brie Larson, and Lashana Lynch need to come promote the Marvels on our show because we supported Miss Marvel. We supported Miss Brie fucking Larson through the ringer.
Say that.
Through the ringer with Captain Marvel, especially Sly. And we would do it justice. So that's it. That's the end of my pitching. I love when I thought I'd say something emotional and instead just make it into a business plan. That's how I cope with my emotions. Thanks for watching.
Very Liz coded.
Okay, so our rants, so much fun. We are going to reset the clock And we are going to move into a new segment, special for tonight. Our debate. Oh, but it's not Alexis debating me. It's Marissa, the much baited, highly anticipated marital spat of the century. Captain America.
No. Oh. This is the first argument that you've ever had. Remember? This is the first time that you've had an argument on this show.
Listen,
Continue.
Some people show affection by having little spats. Some people like to disagree for entertainment.
It's true. And some people don't know how to express their emotions. And that's what makes our marriage so successful. I'm just moving our boxes so that we can put the timer back on screen because I didn't do that. Hold on here. I love custom layout StreamYard. It's fun. Now let us have our account for free. Look how fun. So great. So we're going to have our first marital spat ever. Hold on. Let's block. Can Sly open Twitch and block the bots coming in? That would be lovely.
I don't have. Do I have
never
access
mind.
to Twitch?
It's in our very highly secure document that tells you how to log into our things. Anyway, we're gonna fight about Civil War versus Captain America, two Captain America movies that have our hearts that we will never ever agree on. Here is how it's going to go, and all of you are playing a part in our show tonight. So we are going to argue through these two movies. We have 3 themes that we're each going to spend a minute speaking to, defending our choice. We each have 1 minute to give our argument and then 1 minute to give a rebuttal to the other person's argument. And then once we complete that 4 minutes, Alexis and Sly can ask a clarifying or antagonizing question if you prefer, based on what we say. And you can ask some questions in the chat and we will answer a few. And then you all get to vote on who won the point. And at the end of 3 points, we will have an official decision on what they're the after party about Captain America Civil War versus Captain America Winter Soldier. And I would ask you to just park your bias at the door. Some of us know we're coming into this with a disadvantage. But we're just going to have some fun and talk about 2 Marvel movies that we think are the best. Marissa, tell everyone why you're defending Civil War this evening.
I'm not defending Civil War. You shut your mouth.
I tried. Okay.
I dressed for the occasion. Please. It's not just Bucky. It says Winter Soldier.
Okay. You make an argument. You make an argument. Okay. Instead, would you like to share our first theme of the event?
Oh yeah, absolutely. What is written here is share an iconic moment from the movie that no other Marvel movie has.
Correct. That's our first point. Alexis got the snacks. Sly's got the drinks. Right here is fight for 2 minutes. Marissa, would you like to give your argument first, or would you like me to start?
Ladies first.
I appreciate that. Okay, so I'll go for a minute. You cut me off at the 1 minute mark and go for a minute, and then I'll give a rebuttal to you, and you can give a rebuttal to me. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So Sylvan's bias did not get left at the door. Sylvan's already wearing a Winter Soldier hat. Beautiful. A little asthma cough for all of you playing along with the bingo card. Okay. An iconic moment from the movie that no other Marvel movie has. So I would like to talk you through the Bucky fight sequence when he's like reactivated as the Winter Soldier, because we get a couple things in that scene that are so iconic. Okay. So first we see him absolutely take Tony Stark to the floor, which makes all of us feel better immediately. This is a man we're rooting for. Then we get the incredible Natasha flip onto his shoulders, smack down onto the table with the iconic, "Do you at least recognize me?" line, which is the closest we ever get to recognizing that plot from the comics and the entire MCU. Then we have an iconic kick-ass sequence featuring Black Panther himself, and it ends with Bucky and the motorcycle, which to me is one of the best Bucky and a motorcycle moments we get in all of the MCU. And that alone, the motorcycle point, should win this argument. And I'm not willing to debate the motorcycle scenes across the MCU, but I think it adds to this movie's flair specifically. Marissa?
Okay. I would also like to talk about the fight sequences, but specifically, I want to talk about what is not in any other Marvel movie, because we've got a lot of Bucky fight sequences in other Marvel movies. In Winter Soldier specifically, Maria Hill and Fury get their chance to shine. Fury's escape from that hijacked car is impeccable. We don't see Fury do any action until Captain Marvel, like 5 years later. Hello, represent, appreciate. Plus we get the elevator fight, which I think deserves a moment of its own. Yes, that's Steve, but like, come on, another iconic motorcycle escape from an elevator to a helicopter to a motorcycle. Let's just take a moment for that. We also get iconic moments from everyone. Everyone has their own action, and it holds their own with their character motivation.
My first point of refutation is I don't watch Marvel movies for Nick Fury, okay? I just don't. So that doesn't speak to me at all. That entire point about Nick Fury having a moment, I'm like, it's not, okay, maybe that's why Alexis watches. Not why I'm watching a Marvel movie. Alexis is giving me a look while I'm talking. I'm trying to like get ahead of my judgment over here. Okay, second, I do watch Marvel movies for Bucky Barnes. And in The Winter Soldier, that man is still traumatized. Very, very sad. In Civil War, he's still traumatized, but at the very, very end post-credit scene, you see him on a path to a better future. And I think that also should add points in my favor. Do you see how I'm grasping at straws? Do you see how I'm grasping at literally nothing? It's really good. Also, the elevator scene, I would argue the behind the scenes of shooting that scene is better than the scene itself. And that's really all I have to say.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, there's a behind the scenes of how they choreographed it. It's really good.
Oh.
You should watch it.
Okay. My rebuttal, what's going to be my rebuttal? I basically said it all already. There are other iconic Bucky fights in the MCU. There are other motorcycle moments in the MCU. I think Bucky is not at his best when he is reactivated as the Winter Soldier in Civil War. I think Bucky in Winter Soldier mode is at his best on the bridge scene in Winter Soldier, where we get the iconic, who the hell is Bucky? Thank you very much. We get the knife fight. We get the arm recalibration. Sam shows up and shows out. Natasha does the leg swoopy thing, and she has like a wire thing. Like, everyone has a moment in the bridge scene, and it's underappreciated. I don't have anything to refute the motorcycle sequence in Civil War because that is one of my favorite moments in Civil War. I like Civil War. I just think Winter Soldier is better.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll leave it there. Alexis and Sly, anything you would like to ask us on this point before you make your decision?
Yeah, I would love for you to clarify that Bucky Barnes is not traumatized by the end of Civil War.
Oh, I mean, he's not the Winter Soldier anymore. He's like, I'm gonna like stay in Wakanda. I'm gonna heal. Like, he's like, you know,
arguably, he puts himself on ice because he is so deeply traumatized, Elizabeth.
Okay, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take the constructive criticism because I know my second point is stronger anyway. Okay, Alexis, anything you want to say before you make an opinion?
I don't have any questions. However, I just would like to congratulate you both on your accurate use of technical martial arts terms that I was just able to witness. I am blown away. It's not many people that get the whoopty swoopty loopty loo thing correct. So 10 out of 10.
Wow. Listen, Alexis, I have heard you. I think about you every time I watch that Natasha sequence in both movies. I don't know what it's called, but I like it.
All right. I'm not seeing any questions from the chat. If you do have questions to throw in, feel free to for the next point. But I am seeing a lot of commentary. I think the chat needs to vote on who won for that point. But Alexis, who has your vote for who won that point?
Marissa.
Okay. And Sly?
Here's the thing. Marissa has the better text, but Liz presented a very compelling argument with the absolute bare bones she's given to work with this film. I don't think I'm gonna be giving Liz more points going forward. But I think she has to get one for this round for putting that argument together.
I love you. Thank you so much for the compassion vote. I will take it. I will take it. Okay, the question for Liz is why would you put yourself through this losing battle? So I'm going to take that as a vote for Marissa. Marissa does win round 1. And with that, we'll move on to round 2. Because I will tell you why I am fighting this battle. And it's because of the second point. The second theme of the night is, does your movie satisfy the big 3? Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. And boy, oh boy, do I have an argument for you. Because Civil War is the definition of gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Okay, first of all, gaslighting, this is the Tony Stark gaslighting movie, and that's really saying something because there's 3 Iron Mans. Okay, like, if Tony Stark has any role in this movie, it's to gaslight everybody all the time about the Sokovia Accords and what they're going to do. So, gaslight, big check. Gatekeep, the Sokovia Accords. The whole, like, conflict of the movie is, like, big old gatekeeping all the time. And that's not cool, but it does make my argument. And the third, girl boss. I would argue there's better girl bossing in this movie than Captain America Winter Soldier. Here's why. You have Wanda Maximoff. Okay, does Winter Soldier have Wanda Maximoff in the way that they do in this movie? No, they don't. You have Natasha, and Natasha does not have straight hair. She's got like the kind of wavy, more fun hair. And I think that's great. So yes, my movie satisfies all 3. And I don't think Marissa can beat me.
That is absolutely false. Captain America the Winter Soldier is the embodiment of gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. It is the most girl boss movie in the MCU until we got to Black Widow. Yes, I'm including Captain Marvel. Winter Soldier is the most girl boss movie in the MCU. Gaslight, literally everything Pierce and Fury, and sometimes Natasha do. Especially Pierce, especially to Bucky. But Fury in the beginning, the whole thing is that Steve doesn't know who to trust, okay? Gatekeep, literally Hydra. Hydra wants to gatekeep the world. Information, be in control. Duh. Girl boss. Natasha and Sharon both have something to do in this movie. They have personalities, they have things to say, they have points to defend. That is a win for the girl boss community. Also, Bucky Barnes is a win for the girl boss community, especially Bucky Barnes in eyeliner.
Okay, I accept and concede the point of Bucky Barnes being the biggest girl boss in the MCU, and I am going to revisit this in the next segment post-debate, so we'll pause on that. What I will say is I think it's an offense to the girl boss community to call Sharon Carter a girl boss. I don't accept Sharon as a girl boss. I don't like her. I don't like her character. I don't like anything about her. That's why I did not include her in my girl boss list. So I think that your point about girl bossing falls because you claim that like one of the major tenets of your girl bossing movie is Sharon. And as the chat is saying, Sharon gets an even bigger girl boss moment in
Winter Soldier.
With Steve, at least she does something. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Once again, grasping at straws. Marissa, feel free to take whatever time you want.
My God. Okay, well, first of all, you brought up Wanda. Wanda is literally imprisoned for the majority of this movie. Steve leaves her in a straitjacket at the end for we don't even know how long. We thought he picked her up immediately, but then you watch Black Widow and you're like, oh my God, has it been like a month? Where is he to help her? Okay, then also you're going to tell me that it takes Clint to break Wanda out of the compound against Vision? Clint? Okay. You talk about Sharon Carter. We all know how I feel about Sharon Carter in Captain America Civil War. As has been previously argued on this program, Sharon Carter could be replaced by a picture of Peggy Carter and a Google search engine, and nothing would change about Civil War. That is not a girl boss. That is not girl boss representation. And how dare you bring up Natasha's hair? You know I hate that hair. That is my least favorite Natasha Romanoff hair. It's all flippy and weird, and it looks like someone's aunt. That is not a strong argument, Elizabeth. No.
Okay, Alexis and Sly, anything you'd like to say?
I just want Marissa to clarify her argument about Sharon Carter, because you called her your boss in your movie and also said she could be replaced with a Google image search or a Google search and a picture of Peggy Carter. So I just want you to like rephrase that thought.
Yes, absolutely. Sharon Carter in Winter Soldier actually has a purpose and a role, and she shows independence. She stands up against Rumlow. Like, she's one of the first defiers at the end. In Civil War, she could have been replaced by a picture of Peggy Carter in a Google search engine. She's there to do nothing except inspire and give information, which I've already made this whole argument on our previous PowerPoint night. We all know.
PowerPoint night.
Please go back and watch the Stark Radio PowerPoint night.
We have a PowerPoint party starting after this segment, so you can also stick around for that.
I'm getting really heated about this.
I know, me too. I have my fan turned on if you can't hear it. Alexis, any clarifying points you would like to raise, other than your immense disappointment in us?
I don't have any like questions. Here are some thoughts that I have. One would be that my husband is taking this so seriously. Meanwhile, I am texting them stuff like gatekeep, noun, : Hydra, right? That's the attitude I am bringing to this. Secondly, I would just like to say that, Liz, I really appreciate the bravery and boldness that it took to argue that Wanda Maximoff, who is used as a pawn for the entirety of Civil War, was a girl boss icon. I think that was a really just like brave choice.
I'll take a point of clarification on that.
Okay.
Elizabeth Olsen got a check.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
You know what she also got a check for? Winter Soldier.
But she probably got a bigger check for Civil War.
All right, let's get to the points.
By all means.
Was Civil War the one where she was Catholic? Hang on. No, I do need somebody to Civil War is the one where there's a crucifix in her room, right? I'm not making that up. Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Chat, y'all can vote who won that point. Sly, who is your pick for this round?
I would like to say before I say that, I did take extensive notes on all of your points for theme 1, and I took absolutely 0 for this theme because I was so aghast at how vehemently I disagreed with every single thing Liz brought up in her argument. So it is going to Marissa.
And you know what? I don't blame you. Alexis?
I would like my point to go to the lack of feminist plot in Civil War.
Does that mean I get your point?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you another.
I'll
take
take
a penny point
because you were so brave. Like, that really took guts.
I love you for that. Thank you so much. Okay, so it looks like the chat is once again going to Marissa, which means Marissa does win the second point, which means Marissa is the winner of the debate because we're doing the best 2 out of 3, but we still have 1 point to make. And perhaps we can see how well the argument goes and at least acknowledge who has won any points.
You are tied on the panel. The co-hosts have each given you both.
Thank you.
1 point.
Okay,
so
you're
not
2 to
losing
2
badly as you could be
on the panel.
In my entire career doing competitive debate, this is the worst I've ever performed. That shows you how out of date I am and what a great competitor Marissa is. What a champ. Okay, our third theme, Marissa, would you like to share?
Yeah, our third theme is what consequences did your movie have on the MCU and or the MCU community?
It's a big one. Are you ready, Alexis? All right. Let's do it. Okay, Civil War obviously had one of the best marketing campaigns of any Marvel movie with those custom videos that they tweeted out to be like, your team Iron Man. They were tweeting all kinds of shit. And I thought that was really good. So the marketing of Civil War, I thought, was a fabulous effort, even if the movie maybe directed people in a different way than the teams that they chose before they knew the plot. Second, this is the perfect movie to watch if you fall under the following categories. You can't decide what character you would like to watch, and you can't handle the trauma of the Infinity Saga. You can watch Civil War, and the stakes are resolved by the end of it, regardless of what you think of them, and you get everybody, almost everybody, on screen at once. And to me, that makes a great Marvel movie that's not the Infinity Saga. Next, you get the bridge into Black Panther, and you meet Wakanda for the first time. You bridge in Spider-Man, which I was very excited about at the time, and you get a fun Ant-Man moment. So if you're into any of those properties, this is a great movie to watch without having to commit to watching all of those other films. Marissa?
Captain America the Winter Soldier lays the groundwork for the future of all of my favorite characters, so that's the only thing that matters. We get Sam Wilson introduced, who is the current Captain America. Woot, woot, woot. We get Sharon Carter introduced, Agent 13, who, spoiler alert, is also the power broker. We get the origin of the line till the end of the line. Never heard that before. We get the dissolution of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra, theoretically. We get the introduction of the Maximoff twins, arguably the most important thing that has ever happened to the MCU. I mean that genuinely. We establish who has Loki's scepter. We have the elevator fight callback in Endgame. We have that Hail Hydra escape in Endgame. We have all of this groundwork laid about Peggy's future that's then retconned in Endgame. We have a lot that leads up to Endgame, a lot that leads up to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and has continued to have repercussions in the future of the MCU.
I'm going to choose to be the bigger person and not rebut that because I think that it stands. And you can also make that choice if you would like.
I just have 1 point to make.
You know what? That's actually better than what I expected from that. So please make your 1 point.
The only thing I have to say is that the repercussions of Civil War would not exist without Winter Soldier. You can't get to Civil War without having Winter Soldier.
That's fair. All right. Alexis, you're up.
Liz.
Yes.
Can you define for me what the word fun means to you?
Do you mean in the context of Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's there.
Gotcha.
And
thank you for the clarification.
And he's not in Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
So,
I think he would have been very out of place in Winter Soldier. That's true.
You agree. You agree. So if you want to watch Ant-Man, you can't watch Winter Soldier. But you know what you can watch? Say it with me. Civil War. Good job, everybody. Okay. That's what I mean by fun. And I appreciate the opportunity to clarify that.
You're very welcome.
I don't have any clarifying questions, but I am going to hijack the show and give it a couple bonus points. 1 bonus point is going to Bucky for mentioning the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. plot, because we love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. here. If you know anything about me, I stan the periphery shows that nobody cares about.
We.
I would
the
also
royal
love,
we.
That is royal me. I would also love to give a bonus point to Alexis for texting me during that debate. Does Liz know which teams were in Civil War? Question mark. Unsure. So those are my bonus points for this round.
It's a great question. Sorry, please continue.
And I would just like to say, Liz, you fought a hard battle. You really committed to the bit, and I respect that. But I do have to give my point this round to Marissa for just overall having the stronger pick of which is a more enjoyable movie.
Okay, you know what? I will remind everyone that at the beginning of this debate, we did say leave your bias at the door. But with that said,
I give you a whole point, my dude.
It's true, you did. And I appreciate
They've
that.
They've given you a lot of grace.
I'll be grateful for what I get. Alexis, would you like to cast your vote?
Don't be nice, be true.
I think I have to give my vote to Marissa.
That's valid. That's valid.
I really am in awe of your debate skills. And I mean that genuinely. I don't mean that in the same way I meant, like, do you know what teams are in this movie? I mean that in, like, genuinely, I am impressed by your debate.
Appreciate that. I will also acknowledge that I am leaving this with 1 vote from the audience since I got a bonus point from Bucky for the comedy of trying to win this. And you know what? I'm here to entertain, so I will take it. Marissa, congratulations. You are the rightful winner of this debate and of the official after party show lore that we are standing Winter Soldier over Civil War, which I don't really think was ever a question, but now we have like evidence in our history to say so. Would you like to give an acceptance speech?
Sure. I would like to thank everyone who believed in me, who showed up and supported. I would like to thank Liz for being such a valiant competitor. You really gave it your all. You put up a strong fight, but I'm sorry that it just wasn't in the cards for you today. We both went out on the court, did our best, made our coaches proud.
Can I ask a clarifying question about Marissa's acceptance speech? What does this mean for the status of your marriage, and how are you feeling post-divorce court?
Oh, I don't think we'll be getting divorced.
Okay.
I think we will remain platonically married. And scrunchy ring and all. Yeah, I appreciate Liz taking the time to hear me out and listening to my arguments.
Also a first for our marriage. Keeping track.
Very true.
Are you okay, Sly?
No.
I'm glad you're all having fun with this. It's nice to see everyone in the chat having a grand time. Thank you for the love and the support. It is canon. And from there, besties, that was truly a treat. Shall we move into our next segment, which I'm looking at the time. We've got a few minutes. Let's pull everything back and just have some fun with an old game that we have not played in a minute called the Newlywed Game, where we have questions that we've prepped to ask everybody on the panel and for all of you watching. A nice chance for new viewers and old viewers and all of us to get to know each other a little bit better. And then after this, we're going into our PowerPoint party, which is going to be a real treat based on the previews I'm getting behind the scenes. Wow. Okay. So let's start off. Let's do like one at a time, maybe asking these questions. I think I need to take my puffer because I've been laughing so hard. So how about somebody else starts this game?
I would just like to say
yes
that unlike the last time we played this game where I forgot that Sly had tattoos, this is not like a challenge. This is just
we're doing newlywed style questions. It's not people trying to guess. We're just asking each other to get to know our co-hosts and for you to get to know us. We're not making this a game. We're making it question. I don't know. That's what we're doing. So to kick us off, I thought mine would be a good start because it is show related. If you could pick one episode of this show in any brand or iteration that you have been a part of, what episode would you want to redo and why?
I'm ready.
Oh, take it away.
I would like to have been present for the episode of Only Murders in the Building where I was accused of murder, so I could defend myself.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Thank you.
I love that for you.
The absolute timing of you saying that with me exhaling was like remarkable. Like it was great. Alexis, do you have an answer for this? I need to think for a second.
Well, I kind of have two answers.
Okay.
I was tempted to choose the episode in which I decided that Sly was a Hawkeye fan, thus forcing them.
Oh, yeah.
But that led to several revelations about my own life that I would not take back. So I think the other episode that I would redo is like the last time we did this situation when I could answer no questions about Sly correctly because I was in like a cold sweat and a panic the whole episode. And I also admitted I was on Slime Time Live during that time. And I would redo that episode.
I would also redo that episode because I was in Disneyland and I would love to be in Disneyland.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know what I would go back to. Like, I don't know. I don't know for that one. I think like maybe the PowerPoint party that we did with our friends like forever ago, but that's just because I love the PowerPoint parties. I think that they're hysterical. So maybe that. I loved the funeral show that we did for the Stark Radio brand, but I had COVID during that show and I tested positive the next day. So I'd love to redo that show without that whole stressful situation hanging over my head, because it was a lot of fun and the rebrand was so much fun and that was a great night.
I will say that show almost resulted in the end of JJ's life because of the anxiety of that show. And I would put JJ through that again.
There was like a live that JJ did being like, what's happening? And we all were like, it's okay. I remember we all jumped in. We're like, it's okay.
But to be fair, we succeeded because the whole goal was, can we convince JJ that the show is ending?
It's true. Great question, Sly.
I would pick. I have two. One is kind of stealing Bunky's. I would redo Bunky's episode and make my power not go out, so I could be there for Bunky's episode. Or I would redo the Max Scow interview, because it was so lovely to have Max Scow on. But I was a little stressed about that. So I was like, I was a little stressed about that. So I would redo that one with a little bit of a calmer head.
That's fair. Oh my God, I love reading your comments. It's so funny. The Winter Soldier shirt, Marissa.
Yes, it's a Winter Soldier shirt. I'm so sorry, Danielle. I would never own any Hawkeye merch. Absolutely not. Maybe Kate Bishop. Maybe.
I love JJ's clarification. I was emotionally wrecked. Hannah's joined us. Hello. Enjoy the party, but thanks for hopping in and saying hi. Glad to have you. Yeah, this is super fun. Let's keep going. Who wants to give a question next? Marissa, I think your second question is quite funny. Do we want to go there next?
Yeah, sure. On the theme of my first answer, I would like to know who you would have accused of murder if it wasn't me.
Here's the thing. There was a discussion of other options that weren't like, if I'm remembering this correctly, and please feel free, Sly and Alexis, to tell me if you remember differently. I think there was a discussion about who we thought actually did it. And then I, hard right turn, said, no, you know, it would be really funny if we just said it was Marissa. And that's what we did.
I think the week prior we had accused Clint Barton, right?
Correct.
So I think the conversation was, can we make it Clint Barton again? And then Liz said, no, you know what would be funny is if I accuse my platonic wife of murder live on air.
Yeah, and you know what? It was funny.
I would also like to say I arrived after the decision had been made. Like I arrived and it was like, hey Alexis, who was a man in the UFC that went where also we're accusing Marissa of murder. All right.
So I think if we hadn't done that, I wouldn't have accused anybody. That was the plan. That's what my heart spoke.
Wow. I can't believe the options were Clint Barton, who was actually a very strong suspect, and I am still proud of that. Or me. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
I may, if I could go back and redo it. There's that line in Hawkeye about the tights. I think I would accuse that line of murder.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, let's move on to another question. I'm watching the clock here, making sure we can get these all in before our PowerPoint segment. Alexis, I do love the question that you have listed. Would you like to share with the class?
Yes. So my question is, if you could haunt any fictional character, who would it be? Why would you choose that character? And what is one thing that you would do to them in your haunting of them?
Sly, I see that face. I want you to think very carefully about what you're going to say.
I wasn't thinking about what I was going to say. I was thinking about what I am imagining in my brain that Liz is thinking about that Liz won't say live on air.
Oh my God.
That's what the face was. I can go first. I would haunt the cast of The Secret Garden And just because they're already into the like mystical do magic spells thing, and I would just move random shit just to like reinforce that belief in the like mystical chanting power. Yeah, that's who I would haunt. And why? Because I love the Secret Garden, man. It's just so good.
I would haunt Draco Malfoy.
I know.
Okay, but not in canon Daniel Radcliffe's Harry Potter, in like fan fiction, and I would force him to make less stupid choices to advance the plot sooner.
Mhm.
The plot or Liz's plot?
Marissa?
I don't know. This is really hard because do I want to scare someone or do I want to help someone, like, you know, evolve and grow?
That is the
I don't-
question.
I don't know. My initial instinct was haunt someone bad and make them terrified. And so I was like, well, who do I hate that doesn't end up dead at the end? I don't know. That put Alexis on the floor.
While you're riffing, I just want to go through some audience points here. Jader
Please.
says, haunt Owen Strand and pull him away from every major storyline. I just think that would reinforce him into every major storyline if he was being haunted. So I appreciate the sentiment. I don't know if I agree with the methods. And then, of course, Bunky with the haunt Bucky Vines. Your name origin. And help him process his trauma. Love that for both of you.
Yeah.
Those are great answers.
I did think about Bucky, like, pre-bridge scene, like, just nudge him towards remembering Steve a little bit sooner. But I think in this moment, I would haunt post Multiverse of Madness Wanda. Snap her right back to reality.
That's fair.
Love.
That's fair.
I'm going to use my powers for good.
Both Marissa's answers just then conjured in my head the image of Ghost Marissa, like just saying people's names, like Steve. Or like going up to Wanda and be like, remember who you are. Like that is now my image of like.
It would be like, I don't think you should read the Darkhold anymore. It's like actually really bad for you. Just like maybe take a break. Just like go for a walk. Get some Starbucks.
Love that for you.
Alexis, who would you haunt?
I would haunt Bucky Barnes toward any cat shelter in any city that he is in. That's what I would do.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to speed through some of mine. I want to make sure we get through all of these quickly. So they say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert on something. So what is your fandom related niche that you've spent 10,000 hours on that you are convinced you are a certified expert in? Now, I could give answers to everybody, but I would love to hear what you think your 10,000 hours has been spent doing.
I would love Liz to give us answers.
Mine is just straight up enemies to lovers. I've put well in my 10,000 hours and am a certified expert in the ebbs and flows of the trope. Alexis, do you have something to add? No? Okay. Marissa, Sly, Alexis, what do you think?
I would love my answer to be assigned by Liz.
Hurt, no comfort.
Oh, okay. I would have said the like naming conventions for different types of fics.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a drabble versus a ficlet versus a long fic versus a big bang. Like all those like little nuances, I think I have a pretty strong concept of.
You and me in the hurt no comfort trope, though. That's the base of our whole friendship. Like, but that's a much more positive expertise. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, I love a hurt no comfort.
We love a hurt no comfort fic. Marissa and Alexis.
I have a very different interpretation of this question. While that's so on brand, I love to answer a different question than the one I'm asked. But I would say that I have definitely put 10,000 hours into the Disney parks. And so I'm not the most expert. There are definitely people that know more than me, but I'm confident in saying that at least of everyone assembled here today, I am an expert on the Disney parks. And that is a fandom in which I belong. I don't know what
that answers the question.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, you know, sort of more on Liz's line, my answer would be, well, what would you say for me?
I know that's valid. I was gonna say like Disney princesses, like you wrote your
Okay.
thesis on it. So
Great, yeah.
we were in the same. I also thought wigs, but then I was like, there are actual wig experts that exist, so I didn't want to like, you know, go
Yeah.
that way with it.
Yeah.
Alexis?
First, I would like to say that I like that you were posing this quote as a fun little question, because when Alexis heard this quote at 8 years old, she started tracking the hours that she spent on different things so that she could become an expert in everything. And we call that autism. Now, to answer your question, I would say that the answer I'm going to use on this show is broken brunette bilingual men in fiction.
The checklist TM.
That's exactly what I was going to
love
say
to
for
bring
you.
it back.
So it's beautiful. It's great. Okay, let's do some rapid fires through. Oh, I also no, sorry. I was reading the wrong point. Let's do some rapid fires for our last 4 questions. So Sly, you started us off. Do you want to go to your second question?
Sure. If you could choose any name besides your own, what name would you give yourself? I already did that, so now y'all have to think about it.
I don't really have to think about it. Well, I know what my name would have been if I was a boy because it's a naming convention in my family. That's not what you're asking. I would name myself Veronica. My dad once said it was on the list, and I was like, I could have been named Veronica. So
I did that with my middle name. And then I actually made it my middle name, but that's fine.
my mom didn't want a name that could be like shortened to a nickname that ended in like an I or a Y. So she didn't want anyone to call me Ronnie if my name was Veronica. And I was like, I don't think anyone would have called me Ronnie, but thanks, Mom.
Ronnie's a fine nickname.
But she has a E nickname that she didn't want it for me. I don't know why. It's not the journey she wanted.
I was almost Wendy.
Oh.
And
I can see that.
Wendy's fun. So maybe that. My whole thing is I like names that are one syllable. Like one, I can do a 2-syllable name, but like everyone in my life, I shorten to like a 1 or 2-syllable name. So I think I would need to find like a 1-syllable name, but I don't know right now what that would be. Producer Wendy does not flow. Okay,
No.
I take the point. Take the point. I don't know. I don't know what name I'd give myself.
But hear me out. Producer Win.
Oh, yeah, not bad. Not bad. Liz like seems to have good search engine optimization.
Yep.
It's
Correct.
true. It's true. Alexis, do you have an answer to this?
Melinda Ann, because it is a combination of all of the women's, like my mom's name, her mom's name, and then my dad's mom's name. And I have always been a little sad that, like, being a Southern girly TM, my name is not Southern. And when people hear it, they're kind of like, huh? And I don't think you get more Southern than Melinda Ann. So
I love that for you.
Sly, do you have an answer to this, or no? Because you used your answer to.
I used my answer. I mean, breaking news. My first name is not Sly, which is not a secret, but Liz always acts like it's a secret. I did pick my name. It's Raiden. I really like it.
It's a beautiful.
I don't know.
name.
I
It's so
spent
good.
like a year going through a million different like baby name websites, and had a list in my phone of all the options next to my first name, and I had like 5 criteria for picking a name, and it was the one that fit. So it's what we got.
No, I love it. That's great. I love all these answers. That's a good question. All right, Marissa.
Oh, what comfort movie would you recommend to everyone in this community? So everyone on screen, everyone that watches the after party, like what would be your blanket recommendation?
Captain America, Civil War. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're gonna kick me off the show. I'm kidding.
See, I posed this question and I don't have an answer, so I don't have anything to fill the time with. I can just riff.
answers.
Great.
I have 2 answers, but I thought one of them you would take.
Okay,
Let's
go
go.
first.
So-
Let's go. Yeah.
So my gut instinct was another Cinderella story because it has the love of my life, Jessica Parker Kennedy in it, obviously. But the other movie that I watched whenever I got burnt out on watching like the same movie for like months straight was Princess Diaries 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I feel like I've already recommended that
That's
here.
fair.
So I think I've been thinking a lot about the DCOM Read It and Weep recently. It's got a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of real life drama. It has a happy ending. There's some literature involved. Fashions, great fashions. Both Panabaker sisters. I would say the DCOM Read It and Weep actually is what I decided is my answer just in this moment.
A little bit.
Anyone else?
The Hallmark miniseries Dinotopia.
Okay.
Great.
Love that.
Love that. I'm going to once again take this as an opportunity to promote the 1998 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that has fairies in it that everyone refuses to watch.
I thought you were going to say
brought up
Dune, so that's
your
better.
weird Canadian Anastasia in my office, and my office Liz also knew your weird Canadian Anastasia.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you that this version of Rudolph has a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't stand by that rating, but I do think it's worth watching. And Dune would be another, but I don't think Dune's a comfort movie. Dune is a ride or die movie, so I would not recommend
You did
that.
at one point say the way that I watch Winter Soldier is the way you watch Dune. So.
No, it's true. But I can't recommend it in good faith as a comfort movie to others. That is strictly to me.
Okay.
Sorry, did we all say that one? Did we all go through Marissa? Did you recommend
Yes.
it? Okay. Who's next? Alexis, you have a secret question?
I know what the question is.
I don't.
Oh, no.
Who is your favorite U.S. president?
Oh.
This implies that I can name any
Uh-huh. Correct.
and that I know anything about any of them.
I feel like this question from Alexis has like secret implications, but I have an answer.
Listen, before the pre-show, I didn't know that I had opinions on this.
Oh. My answer is FDR.
Okay.
Not really for policy. I just was really fascinated with the periods of history which he was president in.
Mhm.
And I also found it really fascinating that, or was it? Yeah, FDR won 3 times. Yes. I found it very fascinating that all of that.
Yeah.
FDR.
That's a good real answer. Mine is James Buchanan. He was the gay one.
Yeah.
He didn't really do anything.
No.
He was fine, but I shout out to him.
I also love to tell people this is not cool to say anymore. But when I was a kid, I was really fascinated by presidents when I was a kid. There's a reason I have the college degree that I have. But I love to tell people that William Howard Taft got stuck in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
Alexis, do you have an answer to this? No, you don't. Let's
It's
read
not
one
JFK.
Even I know that would not be Alexis's favorite president.
The wound I just suffered.
Okay.
Who is Jed Bartlett?
West Wing.
Oh,
Not a
thank
real
you.
president.
I was like, I've never heard that name before. Who is Jed
Oh my God,
Bartlett?
wait. I have to redact all of this. It's not FDR. It's Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross in the Thunderbolts.
See, I was gonna go with Mark Harmon in that one movie that he plays the president because he's
I
his
love that.
dad.
Mm.
Yeah.
What is the lore of William Henry Harrison? And also, who is that man?
Was that the one that was only president for like 2 weeks?
Was 40 days.
Wow.
The one who got sick? I think. I don't know. I don't know
think.
names. I'm dyslexic.
2 of the top 5 times that I have just been in awe of Marissa are this moment right now and that time that she mentioned the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory is the historical event she wanted to visit.
Shirtwaist Factory. It's so fascinating. You guys, if I had a chance to talk about American history, people would
I
hate
just
me.
need Liz to name a single US president.
Like, I can name current one, like the current ones, like of the past few
You can
years.
do whatever you want.
I don't even know how many. Okay, my favorite US president is Oprah. You can't argue
Yeah.
with me. She
All right,
is the
we'll take
The
president.
people's president, sure.
Yes, Oprah Winfrey. Absolutely. And if you're confused, I'm Canadian, and I want that on the record for the recording so that doesn't get anyway. Context is now there. Beautiful. There's a whole episode of Parks and Rec about it. Okay, I need to revisit. I love it. Okay, the last question. What has this show convinced you need in your life or has made you hyper fixate on? My answer to this is a tortilla warmer. Never in my life would I have thought I needed tortilla warmer until Alexis brought it into our show's lore. So thank you for that, Alexis. I now think about it all the time, and I can't even eat gluten tortillas. So the tortillas I can eat, what I think might fall apart in such a concoction. However, do I still want to invest in trying one?
Contraption.
Yeah, that's my answer. What are y'all's?
Well, I have a real answer. I don't know if I can so much blame it on the show as I can this collection of human beings. But I was bullied into making an actual AO3 account by this collection of individuals.
You're welcome.
And yeah.
I didn't know that we did that. Yay, us!
Yeah,
That
like
was
a
very
long
early.
time ago.
That was Sly a co-host then?
It was like in the Hawkeye
probably.
era.
Yeah.
Probably.
That
I
sounds
was like,
the type
guys,
of
I have a
project
code
Sly
that I
would
haven't.
spearhead.
No, it was Sly.
Yeah.
You're
You're welcome.
I was like, yeah, guys, I
On
have a
that
code that I
note-
haven't finished setting it up, and I did it, and I don't know how I would ever go back to just open tabs and refreshing things without any information. I've learned how to use AO3 because of this community.
Love that. Alexis's answer has to be 911 because I did bully you into watching that accidentally. I didn't mean to, for the record. But oh god, what's my
Does
answer?
Alexis have an answer that's not 911? Or I'm sure maybe some of us have a list. No, 911's the answer.
Oh, I know exactly what my answer is. It's Hawkeye.
Oh!
Alexis said live on air that I was a Hawkeye Stan, and then I became one.
I love
like-
that.
I'm rewriting your origin story in my head through this because it's like we DM'd you inviting you on the show to co-host for Hawkeye. I think in that message I was like, because you're a Hawkeye fan. Did you read that and go, yeah?
And in that
I read
same,
that.
like when you told me that you would reach out to Sly, Liz, I was like, that's great. Sly knows so much about Hawkeye.
It's
Where
true.
did I?
It's true. It was like not just Alexis in this.
I
Alexis
think
just
I replied to that message and I said, great, that's awesome motivation for me to finally go through all of the comics or something.
you did. I can confirm. I love the answers from the chat. Only murders in the building.
Mm-hmm.
I need y'all in my life. I need this community. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Did Danielle send one? Oh, JJ's was the Le Creuset. I don't think I said that right. The pumpkin pot. Yeah, and more tortilla warmers. This is lovely. Okay, it's time for PowerPoints. I guess that was the PowerPoint intro music, which is me rattling on the desk.
Wait, I
Thank you, Alexis.
have to make a wardrobe change.
Okay,
please.
wardrobe, change it up. Okay, so we have 4 PowerPoints for you this evening. We did not talk about the order before we started, but I think I need to go last because mine is very long, accidentally.
Okay, I did just say my PowerPoint is very short, so I can go last. But if you want to switch that and make me go first,
Let's do
we
you
can make that
first.
happen.
Let's do it up. I'm gonna. Which one is yours? You uploaded these. Is it this one? Yeah.
yep,
Oh,
sorry.
beautiful. Oh no, the boxes. Look, hold on. Let me do a live edit of the boxes so that. There. Oh, that was scary for a minute, but we survived. The boxes were not aligned, and they almost are now. Okay, let's hear from Sly. This is gonna be fun. Let's shall we set a cheers before we PowerPoint?
Ooh.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody watching.
All right, my PowerPoint topic for tonight is I'm using all of these words loosely. My top 5 ships as Noah Khan songs. Are these ranked by song? Are they ranked by ship? Who knows? But they're ranked. So
Wait.
we're just gonna get
Alexis,
into
did
it.
you just see that you and I did that in the exact same way at the exact same time. Let's try to continue this energy. I just okay. Sorry, Sly. I just had to acknowledge that.
All right. So and number 5, we got Woman. Oh, my gifts aren't working. That's so sad. It's fine. I went through so much work to try to find gifts for all of these people. Some of these people have not interacted in gifable format. It's fine. So I chose the I made the mistake. I can't read this. So I chose the song Come Over. The line, and my house is just barely big enough for my family, but it feels like a fortress when weather gets bad. I don't know. It feels very Woman. So that's what you get. All right. Number 4. I don't know how numbers work. We got Halloween. We got Double Red. J. Roy. My loves. I have 2 NoCon songs on my J. Roy playlist. It's fine. So this one I picked Halloween. There's a murder of crows in the low light off Boston, and I see your face in each one. I don't know. Really, really giving them. So that's what we got. All right. I've already lost track. 3. We have Tarlos. A Strawberry Line. And you might be like, that's a weird pick. There's another song that might fit the... Just wait. Hold the thought. So I picked Strawberry Wine for Tylos. The line, remember you telling me that you thought you were cursed. I'm in love with every song you've ever heard. I just love them so much. All right. Number 2, we got Orange Juice and Stucky. And the line, feels like I've been ready for you to come home for so long that I didn't think to ask you where you'd gone. Don't ask me why I picked this. It just was speaking
It hurts,
to me.
Sly.
It hurts
me.
Wow. That hurt me in this moment.
I felt it like a little knife.
I'm so glad I could do that for you all live on air. And of course, my number 1 had to be, you guessed it, it's Buddy. And they have Growing Sideways. Especially the line, I'm still angry at my parents for what their parents did to them, but it's a start. So these are all my ships and some NoCon lyrics, because that's been my hyperfixation lately. Yay.
Hooray. That was very lovely, Sly. I now am in pain. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
When you watch the replay, you'll see Alexis mirroring me and me mirroring Alexis the entire time, which was also a treat for that presentation. I need like gifs of Alexis and I just doing the same movement at the same time.
Incredible.
Oh, that was great. Round of tacos in the chat for the pain that Sly has caused. Hooray. Marissa, would you like to go next?
Sure.
All right. Here. Oh, sorry. Sly and I were both in producer mode. Pop off, bestie.
All right. I will be presenting the definitive ranking of Scarlet Witch merchandise. I did have to make a wardrobe change. I'm now repping Wanda Maximoff.
Let's see it.
I built this PowerPoint. I haven't returned to it.
A toast.
Oh.
We started mine with a toast, and then we didn't start yours with a toast. So
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I built this PowerPoint and I haven't returned to it since then, so I don't know what we're about to see, but should be safe for work. Okay. The definitive ranking of Scarlet Witch merchandise. So, I am very academic, and so I present to you a rubric and definitions. What is merchandise? According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, it's the commodities or goods. Everyone shut up. The commodities or goods that are bought and sold in business. That's not really what I mean. So then I Googled, what is fandom merchandise? And Fan Lore said, fan merch has long been a part of fandom. Fan-made merchandise is usually created by fan artists. It is sold online or at conventions. Fan merch ranges from prints of fan art to apparel, lanyards, purses, dolls, buttons, pins, and more. Which, yeah, okay, that works. But then, what is not
We love Fan Lore.
Yeah, we're a fan. We're a fan of Fan Lore. But for the purposes of this presentation, what is not merchandise? That would be collectibles, figures, figurines, or anything else I didn't have time to research or I wouldn't personally buy. Too bad. Sorry. And then the rubric for this ranking. First up, vibes. Is it cool? Is it cute? Is it fun? 2, accessibility. How easy is it to purchase this item? Wow, I'm missing a 3. See, this is what I mean by I made this presentation and never went back to it. So I guess number 4 is, would I wear it? Like, would I put this piece of merchandise on my body or in my home? And number 4/5, would I pay full price for it? Would I pay the full market value for this item? So many questions already.
I'd like to interrupt. Alexis, do you also have a question to raise? Okay, please, the floor is yours, my friend.
Mine is just a compliment. If I would like this for every interaction I have to have anytime, any day, anywhere. If everyone could just start coming with a rubric and definitions that is laid out like so, I would really appreciate it. That is all.
I love that. A little PSA. Marissa, can you like make the template publicly available under like helpalexisuunderstand.org?
Sure.
Beautiful. Can't wait. I would like to say 2 things. One, I have just pieced together the secondary purpose of you presenting this PowerPoint live, and I can't wait to hear you make your point because I know exactly where this is going now. And 2, one thing that Marissa brings to this show. Sly, thank you for joining me in the hoods up. This is great.
Yeah,
one thing
I had to match the vibe.
Where Alexis and I will go very far in the land of like prep and research, etc. Sly and Marissa always ensure there is an element of, but what about my opinion? And I think that really balances the scale so beautifully. And so I just wanted to say, I love that half of your definition is based on your own opinion of what merchandise is. It's great.
Thank you.
Okay, please continue.
All right. So that's the rubric and definitions, what we need to know going in. Just remember, this is me being reasonable, okay? We're about to get sassy, but I am channeling the spirit of the Scarlet Witch, all right? This is one of many quotes that are included in this presentation. If I do anything, it will be quote Wanda Maximoff. So, where is the merch? For the purposes of this presentation, I looked at Shop Disney, which is the official Disney merch available in-store, in parks, and online. I looked at Box Lunch, which is official Disney licensed merch, which is available in Box Lunch stores and online. Sponsor me. And Etsy, which is unofficial, unlicensed merch available through independent artists on Etsy.com. So, first up, we have Shop Disney clothing with men. Ranking, no. It's a 2 out of 10. It's available on Shop Disney online, in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. But which stores? Pretty much none of them because they hate Wanda. There's truly no Wanda merch to be found in the Disney parks. Here's a close-up of some of that merchandise. We got some WandaVision with Vision, and they're pretty ugly. And then we've got a lot of Multiverse of Madness, and they're all really bad. And you would think, oh, Marissa just like picked and chose the ones she didn't like or whatever. These are all of them. This is all that is available on shopdisney.com. Yes, Sly.
Point of order. How many of these do not feature men?
Question. What? I don't understand the question.
Like, are there men on all of these items?
There are men on all of these items, are there not?
Correct.
Wow.
Why are there men on every single Scarlet Witch piece of merchandise here?
Because this is the category clothing with men.
Oh, I for men. I thought it was like the men's section of the site.
No, this is Wanda. When you search Wanda Maximoff on shopdisney.com, all of these items come up and they all have men on them.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
want that.
Okay, I misunderstood the category.
Well,
Thank you for clarifying.
I was right there with you.
Okay,
I'm so
cool.
sorry. Once again, I made this once, never revisit it until this moment. Then we have Shop Disney clothing without men. Slim pickings. Ranking, sure. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. Same availability, Shop Disney online, the Walt Disney World and Disneyland, but which stores? We still don't know. They hate Wanda. A close-up on this. Some of it is okay. Some of it is awful. I believe on the left, why would my presentation be mirrored? On the left, we have things that I might actually buy. The Scarlet Witch crop top sort of thing with the weird distressed gray, like I might buy that. Probably not if it was $40. The tie-dye shirt I have never seen before, and I was really intrigued by it. It's got a WandaVision quote. Like, I like that. It's like a pocket tee, but with a quote instead. That's fun. It's understated. That's my vibe. On the right is Civil War merch. We have previously established how I feel about Civil War in the process of this event. And why are they selling Civil War merch in 2023? So that's what's available on Shop Disney. Continuing on Shop Disney, we have the non-clothing merch. I would give it like a 4 out of 10. I think that's probably too generous. Looking back on it, it's pretty generous. Same availability. We're still on Shop Disney. I guess it's a 4 out of 10 because I would buy 1 out of 4 of these items. And again, you're probably thinking, oh, Marissa just picks the hits. Nope. These are all of the items available that are non-clothing on shopdisney.com when you search Wanda Maximoff or Scarlet Witch. Same results. I would buy the Scarlet Witch mug, probably. I have some good Shop Disney mugs. I like a mug. I already own too many, though, so like, why would I need it? So much Civil War, though. Why is there so much Civil War? I once again am asking. So that's, yes.
I would like to say for one, sorry, go ahead.
How much do we think that the skewed amount of a Civil War merchandise is because it never sold?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's
I
absolutely
would like to say, as the Civil War person on this show, that I would not buy any of the Civil War pieces, and that's saying something.
No, it's all it's horrible. It's like take poster art and like screen print it onto like a generic. Why the hat? Like, it's not even like a cool baseball hat. It's like one of those with like the like mesh half. It's so upsetting. So that is what is currently available from Shop Disney. Next, we move on to Box Lunch. Box Lunch clothing in general is like a 7 out of 10 for me. This is available at Box Lunch online, Box Lunch stores. I do have gift cards. I have not used them, but I am available for sponsorship. Please call me Box Lunch. Ranking, yeah, okay. There's some good and there's some really, really bad. But like all of the good side, all of this on the left, I would totally buy. Okay? I'm pink. I'm right there with you. The cartoon, like comic Wanda, 100%. Even the sweatshirt. I love that. On the right, I don't know how to talk about that. Like there are truly pages on boxlunch.com of just posters like screen printed onto blank black t-shirts. It's like scrolling through Redbubble, but it's official licensed merchandise, like that is manufactured by Disney and Marvel. 7 out of 10 was really generous, but again, please call me Box Lunch. Then we have non-clothing merch from Box Lunch. Not a lot available. I would say it's like cute, ? Same availability, Box Lunch online, Box Lunch stores. I do still have gift cards. I haven't used them, but I would love some more Box Lunch. Looking at it more closely, nope, just kidding. I, again, built this once and didn't return to it. So I'm missing the slide where I show those things up close. Am I? Maybe. I don't know. Important thing, they have the Loungefly WandaVision backpack. I don't like this backpack, but I like that they have Loungefly. What I do like are the Scarlet Witch Loungefly backpacks, which have sold out and are no longer available. Rest in peace to the Scarlet Witch Loungefly backpacks. Yeah, there it is. Great. This is a close-up of the non-clothing merch from Box Lunch. I don't like this Loungefly backpack with these like weird, I think they're like Funko branded images of Wanda and Vision. I do really greatly enjoy the hair clips though, like the Scarlet Witch tiara hair clip. Love that. That's a vibe. The jewelry, sure, maybe. I could get into the ring, I guess. What is greatly upsetting on this slide is this Vision plush. You would think, okay, it's a Vision plush. It's not. It's a dog toy. Thank you very much.
Is it so like your dog can recreate the WandaVision moment in Infinity War and just like tear Vision to shreds?
Truly, it's like, oh, you want your dog's mouth to be Thanos' fist? Like, it's horrible. It's horrible. And it's branded as WandaVision merch. Why would you want to give I can't even, it's so upsetting. But once again, Box Lunch, call me. Now we get into Etsy. Woohoo! I'm so excited about Etsy. I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10 because they're good as hell on the Wanda front. Availability, Etsy.com. They're independent sellers, unless it's a drop shipper. Don't steal. It's hard to tell who actually owns the rights to some of these products. So I would recommend finding an independent seller brand on Instagram first, going to their shop link directly, not just scrolling on the search on Etsy. All of these things are things that I already own or have in my favorites on Etsy.com. Like these are things that I want or would purchase. So this is the 10 out of 10 because everything listed here I want or own. Especially a shout out to the sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now, which is probably from a drop shipper because it was a gift from my brother and he doesn't really understand how Etsy works. And the That Doesn't Seem Fair Multiverse of Madness t-shirt, which is from our friend Naira at Burden Shop. Check out her shop. These are things that I like and want. We've got some, WandaVision rep. We've got some Multiverse of Madness rep. We've got art, prints, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all of the above, anything you could imagine from Etsy.com. I'm a big fan. What is the next slide? Oh, I would also recommend Etsy.com for Yelena and Bucky merch because this is what's available. I don't know if I mirrored, whatever. This is what is available from both Box Lunch and Shop Disney. This is a collection of both. And these are some of the most horrendous things I've ever seen. And so I would encourage you to go to an independent seller if you want Bucky or Yelena merch because truly horrific. That was that point. Yeah, That Doesn't Seem Fair. And usually Box Lunch has better. They don't for Yelena or Bucky. And those are my top 3 girls. Okay, let's be serious. Because dear Shop Disney and Shop Disney Parks, you took everything from me, okay? Let's be serious about why we're really here today. We all know what this has been leading to. The Scarlet Witch Mickey ears, they're ranked dead fucking last, a negative 10 out of 10, because they should be available at Shop Disney Online or in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. But which stores? We'll never know because they sold out in 2 hours. I showed up at Disneyland maybe a week, 2 weeks after they went on sale. I asked in literally every single store available in both Disneyland and DCA. Nowhere. Not at all. One person was like, oh, I think they might be at World of Disney still. Went to World of Disney, gone. Online, gone. Sold out. Never to be seen again. I will never possess these, and every time I see someone wearing them, I think about taking them off their head. I do. I really think about it. So I just want you to think about every night I have the same dream, and every morning I wake up with the same nightmare. Because look at what I could have had. I could have met Wanda wearing her iconic ears, and I didn't. Because you know what? Nope. I thought I had another slide. I don't. I don't understand why they were a limited edition piece of merchandise. Like, sure, they were for Multiverse of Madness, but Wanda was in the parks for much longer than just the Multiverse of Madness promo period. She was there for months, and I should have been able to buy her ears for months. I should still be able to buy them now. So justice for me, justice for Wanda. We're going to get those kids back. And I leave you with one of the saddest lines from WandaVision. We've said goodbye before, so it stands to reason that we'll say hello again. And Box Lunch, I'm serious. You can contact me at missofwabissa@gmail.com or at missofwabissa. I'm available for all merchandising opportunities. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. I'm going to let Alexis in the future decide if this is the most words per episode Marissa has ever said. It might be.
Yeah, that was long. I'm sorry.
No, every one of them has been spectacular.
It was great.
That was a wonderful use of our time. Honestly, I think that this should be a segment. Potentially. I think we might have to do requests.
Oh. For what?
Like,
for me to talk?
I meant for you to deep dive available merch.
Oh, I would love to do that.
But yeah, you talking is also a good thing to have on the show. Yeah, round of tacos, please, for Marissa in the chat. What a treat. Sly, I would have kept my cut up, but it was choking me, so I had to put it down. Wow. Where do we go from here?
I struggle to get mine over my headphones.
A round of tacos for Marissa. What a treat. Alexis, would you like to be our next slideshow sharer?
Yes, but I would like to say that I realized about halfway through Marissa's that I'm actually not logged into the Canva. But thank you. So if somebody else can do the clicking for me, because I can't actually see it.
I'll click for you. I got you.
And I am going to pull up my extra special notes. Okay. So I decided that I was going to rate brands.
Wait. Cheers. Sorry.
Oh,
what were the words? Okay, cheers, everybody. Cheers, Alexis. Cheers, everybody watching.
I decided I was going to rate brands on their cat representation. And you may be thinking, Alexis, what brands? Well, whatever the hell popped into my head when I was making this PowerPoint. If you will go to the next slide. Okay, so this is our ranking system. So you will see we have a possible 5 alpines. So you get 0 to 5 alpines. And then we have some bonus items, including a taco, a pet dinosaur, a Home Depot purchased tortilla warmer. I put the Home Depot there so everybody would be clear on that. A sweater and a bedazzled microphone. Okay, so our first brand is the Fisher-Price Little People. And the Fisher-Price Little People get 2 alpines, and they get 2 alpines because while they have a wide variety of cats represented, and one firefighter does have a cat, that firefighter is Fire Chief Eddie, who I did not want in my home, so that was disappointing. And no cats were included in any of the fire truck sets. So one of us over Christmas time had to get the fire truck set and then use a heat gun to remove the little people to stick the cat in there to glue it back on so that the receiver of the gift thought they were getting a cat in the fire truck because they don't understand why cats don't come with the fire truck. So the cats are not standard, and that means that they get 2 cats. Now, they did get 1 taco because of what is on the next slide, which is this little food truck, and they get a taco for that because while there's not a cat involved, they look like gay people that would have cats. Okay, so our next brand is a little to the left, which I guess isn't technically a brand because it is a game, but they get 4 alpines and a sweater. And they get 4 Alpines because they portrayed cats accurately as lovable, sometimes sassy, destructive creatures. And the cats were represented in the end credits in cute little Polaroids. So like everybody that worked on the game, their cat was recognized in the end credits, which was really exciting. But they did not get 5 Alpines because the cat was not customizable. It was a white cat. But they did get a bonus sweater because it was a cozy, fun little game that took over my life. Okay, our next brand is Falcon and Winter Soldier, the TV show. And they get no Alpines and no bonus accessories because where was Alpine, you fuckers, goddamn you. Okay, our next brand is 911 and 911 Lone Star together. And they get 2 Alpines for their cat representation. They get these 2 Alpines because the fandom turned Buck into a cat. Do not ask questions. That was important to me. And it seems canonical that cat tree rescues are a thing. I don't know that that is canonical, but it is canonical to me. I'm almost certain that is a thing, even though I forgot Marvin existed until earlier today. The reasons, yes.
Okay, I could be wrong. I could be remembering, but the episode with the apartment fire rescue, where they think Gladys, the deaf woman, is an animal, isn't she? Isn't they looking for the cat? Yeah,
correct. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Good spousal support there. I appreciate that. The reason they do not get more cats is because the plot line in Lone Star that featured a cat had Rob Lowe around the cat. He was weird around the cat. He made the plot line around sex, and the cat had to be around Rob Lowe, which are all negative things. So we lost points for that. Our next brand is Marvel Comics, and they get 4 Alpines because multiple cats are represented. They did do a cat-only portfolio. There is a black cat. All of my favorites get cats, but they use cats to move their plot of sexism forward, and it really pisses me off. So they lost an Alpine and a bonus accessory for that. Next, we have Canva, who gets 1 Alpine. And they get 1 Alpine because they did have the PowerPoint that I'm currently using. However, my initial search for cat PowerPoint themes only returned a dog-themed PowerPoint. And there were no black cats initially included in this PowerPoint. I had to make them. Plus, there was only 1 cat PowerPoint. Next, we have Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift gets 4 Alpines and a bedazzly sparkly microphone. The reason she gets 4 Alpines is because she has cats. She has multiple cats. Her cats have good names. She writes about cats. She fights sexism with cats. But so far, there have been no cats on stage with her at the Eras Tour. So she did lose an Alpine for that representation. Okay. Next, we have public and not so public radio. And they get 0 Alpines because these idiots keep talking about dogs in the cat segment, which I just feel is really, really rude. Don't set me up with a cat segment and then every week tell me about your dog. I'm not there for that. I'm there for the cats. Boo. Next, we have Hill Science Diet. And Hill Science Diet gets 3 Alpines because they are a good, solid, affordable cat food with different formulas for different cats. And they have a great breadth of cat representation, but they have no black cats. And that's really insulting to the cat community. Next, we have children's books. Children's books, just as all children's books, because there have been a rise in cat-related children's books, and they get 5 Alpines and a pet dinosaur for that, because these children's books, I don't know why Liz is laughing, teach kids about cats. There's a lot of different cat representation, including ghost cats, which we own. The cats in the books do like cool things, so they get all the Alpines and a bonus for that. Next, we have the state of Florida.
What? No, I wanted to celebrate children's books at all.
That was mine. That's why I was laughing.
It's a brilliant title. Please talk about the state of Florida.
Thank you.
my
Next, we
God.
have the state of Florida. Because what the fuck, Florida? Why do you keep banning children's books that have cats in them? What is your problem? I would also like to add the state of Massachusetts to this because before we went on air, I determined that they wouldn't let a cat apply to be governor. And I think that is really rude. Okay. Next, we have Chipotle. Chipotle gets one cat. And the reason they get one Alpine is because they did make cat houses, and the cat houses were really cute, and they featured tacos. So I did give them a bonus taco for that. But they did not send me a cat house. So they lose Alpines for that. And finally, we have We'll Throw the After Party. And we get 5 Alpines and a Home Depot purchase tortilla warmer for our authentic cat representation that features multiple guest star appearances by my cats. We clearly have a pro-cat agenda, and we have cats featured in our branding. And that is all.
Woohoo!
We love to see it.
This might be the most important work that's ever happened on this show.
And so much lore.
You said that to me the last time I did a cat PowerPoint. You were like, this is the most important work you've ever done. I still have the text.
So your brand's only thriving. I have to say, I did not expect Canva catching a stray in this power. Like Canva coming out.
Poor
screen put me
Canva.
out. Oh my God. Yes, a round of Alpines and tacos to you, Alexis. Someone else talk for a minute. I'm losing my breath.
Well, you have to give a presentation. Get it together, Elizabeth.
I'll say it's a great time for us to acknowledge that we currently have 4 minutes left in our scheduled broadcast, and we are just getting started, and we love to see it. So cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to Liz.
Moved on to second beverage.
Mhm. All right. Well, I decided that I was sick and tired of oh, sorry, Sly, you were also clicking. I was sick and tired of us dragging Marvel movies to filth every week. And I thought, you know what? I can do Kevin Feige's job for him. So this is my official application to be a head writer at Marvel. I've created a Marvel movie that I think is perfect and really fulfills everything that we talk about on the show. But I had to keep a few Marvel restrictions in there so that it could be a real pitch. And I had the help of ChatGPT, which I felt like was also relevant to the Marvel writing experience. So
I'm so sorry, Liz. I just have breaking news. Somebody heard us talking about cats and started screaming.
Do we have a guest cat joining us, or just making themselves
You
known?
might.
We'll
Just
see.
making herself known.
Okay.
Could I just read a few of the texts that Liz
Oh, yeah,
has
please, set
sent
this up.
today about this
Set this
presentation
up.
in particular?
Yep.
I think the first thing we received was, I think I'm going to break Alexis tonight in regards to this presentation.
Let it be known Alexis broke me multiple times in this show. So now I don't feel so bad.
Which was then followed up by, hold on, let's find it. Oh no, terrible. Oh no. Oh, okay. Here it is. My PowerPoint is the single most unhinged, unwell thing I have ever done on this show. Congratulations to everyone who voted for Liz in the polls posted on socials today. Follow us at After Party Show, SHO. She also, in a separate group chat, said something similar. I have to scroll because this is a really popular group. Okay. Nope, not that one. In this one. Oh God.
There's a lot of prep that went into this.
There was a lot. Yeah. I finished my slideshow for the show tonight, and it's the single most unhinged thing I will ever present on the internet. So just know, this is the single most unhinged thing Liz will ever present on the internet.
I really do believe that. I really do
I
believe
feel
that.
like that is my expectations are so much now because I thought the single most unhinged thing you would do on the internet is argue that Civil War was a better movie than Winter Soldier. So like the bar was already high.
I had to like set everyone up with that in order for this to be in a realm of is she okay?
No, I'm actually scared considering the energy you've been forecasting today.
What is this ever really?
Great question.
Bunky, do you know how hard my life is?
It's true. There's a support group. Okay. So the goal, create a Marvel movie based on what we reference and make jokes about all the time. But in order for Kevin Feige to listen to my pitch, I had to make a few things true. One, we cannot have good representation in this movie. Marvel would never hear me out if I made a perfectly representative movie. So that is not what I did. Two, it has to be a little bit nonsensical. And we have to have some casting choices that don't make sense. Here's what I decided to pull. Alexis, for you, inclusion of Alpine and dinosaurs. Sly, for you, the inclusion of 911 and spreadsheets. And shout out to Alexis for helping me decide on spreadsheets.
Any emergency services? I would love to know what emergency services looks like in the Marvel universe. Give it to me. I will eat that shit up.
You have no idea what's in store.
Oh my.
Marissa, for you, Chicago.
Thank you.
The girl boss to end all girl bosses. That not a specific person, but just girl boss energy.
Yeah.
And then for the community, I included you as well. A One Direction reunion, which was not recommended, forced by Danielle, and tacos. And I also have my own in here, but I'm not telling you what they are to add to the element of surprise. So with this criteria, allow me to present to you Bucky and Alpine through the multiverse of meowness, which
10 out of 10 already.
Perfect Marvel movie.
5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I can't wait.
I spent hours on Canva creating the following presentation. Let's begin. Known intergalactic girl boss Bucky Barnes is living a girl boss life. Bestie Sam is too busy being Captain America, and Captain America the Winter Soldier did not get a season 2. Now that Marvel is investing in animation, he decides it's time to befriend a cat to help him get more screen time. Bucky finds Alpine in a posh cat cafe. It's more of like the speakeasy where Blair and Chuck go in season 1 of Gossip Girl. Alpine is running the show. Bucky orders an old-fashioned, and Alpine serves him milk because that's all they have. Alpine reveals that an Alpine from another dimension tried to kill him to take over the speakeasy. And the only hint of where to find this multiversal cat is that they were singing a weird version of a One Direction song that had never been released before about LA. Alpine agrees to traverse through the multiverse with intergalactic girl boss Bucky Barnes to find the cat that tried to kill him. There's a closet of your girl boss dream sequence where Alpine raids Bucky's closet for accessories. That's Act 1 complete. Any commentary?
I just want to say I really love you using the OG background space theme for an earlier slide. I see you and I respect it.
Thank you. Alexis, how are we doing over there? Okay. Marissa?
So far, this is a movie I would watch 100%.
I do want to apologize to you directly for putting Bucky over Anne Hathaway, but I just could not have any confusion. Anne Hathaway is not in this movie. This is Bucky Barnes' girl boss accessories closet for traveling the multiverse.
That's okay. I appreciate it. I think about Bucky Barnes' fashion quite frequently, and I would love to see what his closet looks like. This is truly thrilling for me.
Great.
I love a closet cake. I am a really big fan of like a full closet dessert. And I would like to put forth that his drink choice order to me canonizes that Fletcher is also in this story.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's continue. Here's where we start to get unhinged because this was not the unhinged part of the story. Okay. Sorry, I lost my spot in my note. This is very long. Okay, so raiding Bucky's closet for accessories. Once they're done, they head to Chicago, because the only way you can travel the multiverse is if you eat tacos in front of the bean on a motorcycle.
Oh my God. Gorgeous.
So they head to Chicago and they eat tacos. The only way you can jump through the multiverse. This is them. They're going through the multiverse. You know, our cover image. So this is where we start. Yeah. Okay. So going through the multiverse, and they end up transported to the LA of another multiverse. Here they run into One Direction, and in this multiverse, the band never broke up. But Zayn did leave the band, and he was replaced with Aaron Tveit.
Oh my God.
I really like this edit. Okay. So
I need 3 to 5 business weeks to emotionally recover from that Aaron Tveit jump scare.
I would also like to say I cannot tell which part of this picture is Photoshop.
Could you tell? There he is in the middle over Zayn. Did anyone catch that?
Oh yeah, he's
That's
in
him.
like next to normal era. Wow.
Yeah. Correct.
Wow.
I'm really surprised you didn't pull the next to normal
just-
previews.
Just
wait.
all right. To continue. Aaron tells Bucky and Alpine that the same multiversal time-hopping cat had come to one of the One Direction concerts and tried to kill him because he took Zayn's spot in One Direction. Bucky agrees this is very reasonable and tries to kill Aaron Tveit. But Alpine stops him before anything happens because they agree that finding the multiversal hopping cat is probably the same cat that tried to kill Aaron Tveit and our Alpine.
Wait, so Bucky agrees that murder is the solution for Aaron Tveit replacing Zayn in One Direction?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay.
Absolutely correct.
All right, great.
Correct. Okay. So then Aaron Tveit decides to travel with them to go find the multiversal hopping cat because he thinks that he can be of help.
What is going on with these legs?
It took me a lot of time to Photoshop the legs to even look remotely like he was on a motorcycle. Okay. Okay. This is the halfway point. Okay. I'm not doing well with my breathing, so let's continue. So, they start to head to Chicago. This is ambiguous highway between LA and Chicago. I have no idea how long it takes. Marissa said maybe 15 hours at one point. Who knows? But we have to still be close to LA.
It takes like 22.
Well, there's a whole sequence of them on a motorcycle back to Chicago. But before they even leave LA, they don't get very far because Bucky's motorcycle breaks down. And they realize that they've been sabotaged. Lucky for them, when they call for help, Buck and Eddie arrive. And I was really nervous this wasn't Buck and Eddie. It took me a lot of Googling to make sure this was.
Okay, I would like the record to state that this is a behind the
scenes photo. I'm very aware.
Okay.
So help
behind the scenes or not, it's going to be canon in the Spanish dub, so it's fine.
Okay. So, and these guys show up to help. This is why they have that. They're going to fix the motorcycle. And they realize very quickly that Buck is the multiverse of Bucky. It's the same. They're clones. It's the same person. And Bucky gets really sad when he realizes that in another multiverse, he's also in love with his best friend. And he tries to ask them about it. Where's his fucking face? He tries to ask them about it. But before they can answer and really dig into this, the multiversal time hopping cat appears.
Is that McCavity?
It is McCavity, played by Ben Platt.
I know you said you were going to break Alexis, but you have fully broken me. Oh my God.
Yes. Please also note the costume changes that occurred when McCavity took place.
Oh
Now is where I would like to rewind and show you that McCavity's been in many scenes and nobody noticed. McCavity was in the tree. Back here at the back of the palm trees. He's there. In the palm trees. Up high, Marissa. Squint.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There. I just did not expect it to be a cat jump scare.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Under the bean.
That is not
under the bean.
proportional.
That's it.
Okay, great.
Okay, yeah. So then we have like a fight sequence that I didn't have time to hash out because it's only the first encounter with the villain. So we all know that it doesn't really go anywhere. So blah, blah, blah. 23-hour road trip. They make it to LA. And Aaron Tveit gets the tacos, and they eat the tacos.
That's Aaron Tveit and Schmigadoon season 1.
Correct.
He looks great.
Well done. And again, I photoshopped the leg as best I could. They eat the tacos, but the bike was messed with by Ben Platt McCavity. So when they go to hop the universe, they end up in the land of dinosaurs.
And he's Angel Ross
I
again.
love that you couldn't even find a non-watermark.
No, because it's an anime. I forgot that this was animated, right? At the beginning, I thought this was going to be an animated show. I forgot about that. Then I was going to redo all my work. And then I was like, no, it's funnier if it only gets animated once we get to the land of dinosaurs. So here we are. Excuse me. So they make it to the land of dinosaurs. And then I couldn't figure out how the story ended. So I went to ChatGPT and I copied all of what I had written.
Wait. You wrote all of it until this point?
Fully. That was all me. And then I asked ChatGPT to finish the story. And this is what ChatGPT decided. Bucky quickly realizes that they need to keep track of their supplies and inventory if they want to survive in a world filled with dinosaurs. Luckily, he had the foresight to bring trusty spreadsheets with him.
Okay. So
there's this spreadsheet inclusion. As they make their way through the prehistoric landscape, they come across a dormant volcano. Bucky knows this is the perfect opportunity to set a trap for McCavity, Ben Platt. They spend the day gathering supplies and setting up a plan. That night, as they lay in wait, and this is where I tried to get ChatGPT to rewrite it, because I think we could get real angsty here, but ChatGPT, much like Alexis, would not have a personal opinion as to the relationship between Bucky and Aaron Tveit.
Okay.
So we have to just park that. They lay in wait. McCavity, Ben Platt appears. He's ready to fight. But the team's prepared. They lure him towards the volcano, and as he gets close, they trigger an explosion, causing a massive eruption. Now, I wasn't for environmental damage in this script, but ChatGPT decided that. So Kevin Feige, I feel like that might be up your alley. We'll see. And amidst the chaos, Bucky, Alpine, and Aaron Tveit make their escape, narrowly avoiding molten lava. As they catch their breath, they realize that they have finally defeated McCavity, Ben Platt, and put an end to his multiverse hopping shenanigans. With their mission accomplished, Bucky and his team use their spreadsheets to calculate their next destination and jump to another multiverse. They did not bring back the tacos into all this. I don't know what ChatGPT is on, because they have to find tacos and make it to Chicago. Chicago doesn't exist, so that's a plot hole that we'll have to fix later. But this time, before they do a multiverse jump, they make sure to double check the bike and spreadsheet before they go.
Okay.
That's the end of the movie.
I will say, I am disappointed that you did not feature the previews era next to normal Aaron Tveit in this PowerPoint.
But I did think that Les Mis Aaron Tveit was a good, strong choice.
It was a good, strong choice.
Strong choice.
Can you hear the sirens? They're coming for me. I've been too unhinged on the internet. They said, that's enough. Revoke her accent. Yeah. So this is, in my opinion, the perfect Marvel movie. We've got it all. We've got Ben Platt as our villain. We've got Buck and Eddie. We've got Motorcycle Bucky and Alpine. We've got a One Direction reunion.
No,
I love the implication that Sebastian Stan and Oliver Stark are multiversal twins.
It's good, right?
Makes complete sense to me. Honestly, the most believable part of this is that McCavity can travel through the multiverse. To me, McCavity, the mystery cat, absolutely can travel the multiverse.
Absolutely.
Like, there's a whole song about how he's like always hiding in the corner. You never know where he's going to come from. Like,
to me, the most believable part of this is that if Ben Platt, dressed as McCavity, the mystery cat, jumped in front of Eddie Diaz, that is the face that he would be making.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's the end of my PowerPoint for this evening. Wow. What a ride we've been on. What a treat this night has been. I'm
Yeah.
so glad you all enjoyed that wild ride through our PowerPoints. I like doing PowerPoints on special occasion besties. It's fun. It's fun. And it's fun doing this show with you every week. What a treat for our anniversary show.
I'm not sure I will ever recover. Like, it's going to take a year for me to get to a place where I can sit through the next segment of that Meowiverse.
Yeah, the multiverse of meowness.
The
Alexis.
multiverse of
I
meowness.
can't wait
Thank
for
you.
us to come back with the continuation in a year when Liz pitches us the end game.
Yeah. Part 2.
Oh, I
Part
need to build a
two.
multiverse now. Oh, it's a great idea. I'll start workshopping now. All right, my friends, we're at the top of the hour. Let's just do some quick
We're not at
plugs.
the top of the
We are
hour.
way past the top of the
past
hour.
it.
We're
past
almost
it.
at the 30-minute mark.
All right, let's do some quick plugs. I'm producer Liz everywhere. I'm getting ready to host the red carpet for the Canadian Screen Awards on TikTok, so make sure you're following me everywhere to get all the updates on that. It's going to be a fast and furious 2 weeks. We're also not doing a show next week since it's a holiday weekend. Now is probably a good time to say that. So enjoy your holiday weekend if it's a holiday weekend for you. If not, just enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back the following week. Marissa, what would you like to plug?
I would like to plug me and myself. You can find me everywhere at Miss Bobissa, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I don't know what I'm going to be up to this week. I'm going to be live tweeting Quinta Brunson hosting SNL tonight. Very excited about that one. Yeah, haven't really decided what's next for me. Going to be a lot of over-analyzing media and pop culture and being super annoying about it. And if that's your vibe, come hang out.
Amazing. Sly?
You don't find me on the internet, but you can find all the shows I do. I do Thirsty Thursday with JJ when things work out, and it's my favorite show we do. So if you ever see us live, come hang out. It's literally the best time. I am on the Point in Progress podcast. You can find that on YouTube and all the podcast places. I am here, and I am also on MC University. You can also find that on YouTube and all the podcast places under Point in Progress. And that's it.
And Alexis?
I am at Just Alexis Blake. Sometimes on the internet, sometimes I'm not. It just kind of depends on what's going on in life. But I would love to see you there. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Great way to end it. Thank you, all of you, for watching and being here, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
And can I close out with we're here, we're queer, and we're throwing the after party year 2, baby!
Woo! Perfect ending.